Aloha, Legacy family, and welcome once again to Witness in a Minute, where the goal is to provide you the tools and encouragement to carry out the Great Commission. Let's imagine for a moment that you loaned something out to a friend that was very valuable and precious to you, and then they ended up destroying it. If you said, "I want you to give me a brand new one," that would be justice. But then let's say you dealt with them in mercy instead, and you said, "Don't worry about it. You don't have to get me a new one. I forgive you." Okay, now let's say that you dealt with him with God's kind of grace. You wouldn't insist they give you a new one. Rather, you'd buy them one just for themselves and take them out for dinner too. That's an example of God's kind of grace, also known as God's unmerited favor. The New Living Translation in Ephesians 2:8-9 tells us, God saved you by His grace when you believed. And you can't take credit for this. It's a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done, so none of us can boast about it. Why do we need God's grace? Because we sin every day. We sin more than we think we do. In fact, 1 John 1:8 says, if we claim we have no sin, we are only fooling ourselves and not living in the truth. Yes, sin is when we think of a lustful thought or we lose our temper, but sin is also when we say no to the Lord's promptings to read His Word, or pray, or even share the gospel with someone. It's knowing what we should do, but not doing it. That's why we need God's grace every day. Jesus taught us to pray in Matthew 6:11 and 12. Give us today the food we need and forgive us our sins as we have forgiven those who sin against us. Just as surely as we need our daily bread from God, we need our daily forgiveness as well. That's where God's grace comes in. So come on, faith family, let's pour out some of God's kind grace to the people in your lives, and may God bless your next adventure as you witness in a minute. Aloha.